Satan doesn't need you to worship him. He just needs you to worship yourself. If you're not experiencing like joy and peace and kindness and goodness and gentleness and mercy and self-control, the fruits of the Spirit, and if you're a Christian and you're walking through your life feeling like I'm not, sometimes most of the time it's because we're not walking with Jesus. We're trying to control our own life, and then we're confused why we don't have self-control and mercy and peace and joy in our life. The thing is that the enemy is real sneaky. He's not coming to you with horns and all the stuff. You know what I mean? Satan doesn't need you to worship him. He just needs you to worship yourself. He doesn't need you to bow down at his feet as a Satanist. He just needs you to worship yourself and not worship God. If you worship yourself, then you become very self-absorbed. You become very self-focused. You start making terrible decisions because we need God and his truth. Truth is not subjective. It's not your truth, her truth, everybody's truth. There's one truth. It doesn't care about your feelings. And if you're not worshiping God and letting him lead you, I promise, even as a Christian, Satan will. You're not just leading your own life. If you're not following God, you're following the enemy. I just promise that you are. And you're confused about why things aren't going well, why things aren't going good. But if you're not seeking God and his ways for your life, then you're not just willy-nilly floating out in the universe. I promise you're not. You're a target. You're a target. And I was listening to David Jeremiah the other morning, and he was talking about the armor of God, and in Roman times how, the shield of faith, you lock your shield of faith with other shields of faith, like it's the church. So it's like you've got your shield and your, people in church family, they've got their shields, and you're covered by the arrows of the enemy. You know what I mean? But if you're a Christian and you're like, I don't really need church, I don't need discipleship or Bible study, it's my relationship with God. You're a man by yourself in the middle of a field, and the enemy is shooting his arrows, and you're being attacked from all sides. You don't even realize it. That's why the church is so important. That's why on Sunday morning sometimes I'm like, and I'm like, wait a minute, I love my church. Why do I feel like I don't want to go? And then every time, there's never been a time that I've been like, no, I'm going. I got my youth. And I come home and I'm like, man, I'm so grateful I went. You need other believers. You need to be following the Lord. And if you're talking about purpose and wisdom and vision and guidance and peace that passes understanding and direction, I'm talking about all of the good things. You could have health problems, relationship problems, money problems. But if you're following God truly, he can give you a peace that makes no sense. Listen, get it together. I'm not telling you, I'm telling me. I love you like a crazy person. Be good to one another. Don't forget, you're one of the one another's. Don't forget to be good to yourself. I love you, and I mean it, Peanut.